is a country with a population of around 129 million as of 2016, making it the 10th most populated country in the world. Taking this high number into account, it's not surprising that the amount of trash generated daily in Mexico is very high. On average, every Mexican generates almost 1 kilogram of solid waste daily. It varies from around an average of 400 grams produced in rural zones to about 1.5 kilograms produced in the big cities. In the case of Mexico City, there is an average of almost 1.8 kilos of solid waste per person generated daily. The estimated total of waste generated per day is 100,000 tons, and a yearly average of about 37 million tons of waste per year. This contributes to Mexico being the top producing countries of solid waste.
The issue of waste is not only an environmental degradation problem, it's also a socio-economical problem for the people living in these areas. Families live in these areas because it's their only way of sustaining their lives, by recycling the products that have been left behind there.
Mira, aquí nosotros venimos juntando lo que viene siendo papel, chatarra, aluminio y vamos y lo vendemos. O sea, de ahí sacamos un poco de dinero para los que no tenemos sueldo.
When one sees the waste that these people handle, it's not surprising that in Mexico, these people are the people with the lowest lifespan.
Management in Mexico.
It sucks. It really sucks. Yeah, if you try even to recycle or like separate garbage, it'll just go in the same truck and go into a empty lot somewhere and just start filling up their mountains of garbage.
Came to Mexico, I think it's really good because our house owner especially explained it to us which one is for the recycled one and which one is film, and asked us to strictly obey the rules. But after a month, we just don't think it's really good way because you separate the trash in different trash cans, but at the last they all go into the same one outside our home, and I don't think where's the meaning of it?
Like at home.
No, we don't recycle because it goes into the same truck and goes the same way, so it's the same. We do use organic garbage though for soil.
That's good.
Planting. Not that much. There are recycling places but only for paper or cardboard or stuff like that, but you have to go into the factories that are mostly outside of town, so it takes time, it takes effort to do it, to be able to. So there's not a lot of people that actually recycle. Government, I think, but of course society has to work with them in order to recycle and create like recycling, picking up the garbage in the neighborhoods and stuff like that.
It's also about values.
Yeah, of course it is about values. So mad. I don't use plastic bottles, I hate them. We try not to use them at home, but here at Tech you see a new plastic bottle with the classmates, like they buy one each day. And it's just so stupid, you just have to carry your own bottle. It's not that hard.
Yeah, they use a lot of plastic.
Yeah, of course, bad values, bad education. Like if you're driving and you see a car in front of you, you'll see how they go throwing all the garbage outside their cars, like it's just going to land in there. And also in streets, people just throw their garbage out. I think it's just a lack of values and care for it. It's easier for them just to buy stuff and just let it go. Trash. We're lazy.
Yeah.
We are lazy.
Yeah, lazy is a big issue.
Yeah.
Okay, that was all my questions.
Okay.
Thank you.
Reciclaje en México. Bueno, el reciclaje en México tiene pocos años que se ha querido tratar de hacer, de reciclar y de separar los residuos tanto industriales como de los hogares, ¿verdad? Para así reducir la contaminación y separarlos, y se pueden hacer, de hecho se puede, con toda esta basura se puede hacer biodiesel que puede utilizarse para la generación de energía eléctrica también.
In Mexico, only 3.3% of the solid waste generated from households is recycled properly. This is extremely low in comparison to the United States, where households recycle 23.8% of the solid waste. Without mandated recycling programs, initial voluntary recycle programs varied in effectiveness due to price fluctuations of raw recycling. After recommendations by the Mexican government, beverage manufacturers began to create recycling programs in the 1990s. Fluctuations in the price of PET, the clear plastic used mainly in beverage bottles, at first hampered progress as waste pickers stopped collecting bottles due to a perceived unprofitability. This led to producers continuing to import virgin resin for bottle production as the supply of recycled resin wavered.
Besides common household waste, electronic waste is also another form of waste that is not being disposed of correctly, and this is probably the most harmful waste on the environment. The majority of the electronic waste can be traced back to certain corporations with bad policies concerning their environmental impact. Apple, for example, like all other publicly listed companies, has one main purpose, and that is to generate profit. So, what Apple does is that they purposely shorten the life duration of their products so that they can publish a new phone to the market that the public is eager to buy. All of which contributes to unimaginable amounts of electronic waste around the globe.
Looking at this Coca-Cola commercial sure makes you feel happy, doesn't it? And you definitely want to drink a cold one after seeing this commercial, don't you? And this is what they want you to believe. Coca-Cola company makes a huge profit by convincing people that they need to drink Coca-Cola. And this wouldn't be a problem unless Coca-Cola is a highly unhealthy product that contributes to diabetes, teeth problem, cancer, obesity and sugar addiction and other problems. And the sugar addiction makes you want to continue consuming it, which is a huge problem in Mexico since their country are the biggest consumers of the product. Furthermore, since the waste management system in Mexico is insufficient, this constant consumption of plastic bottles contributes to a huge amount of plastic in the nature as well as in the ocean.
In the pursuit of economic development, companies and countries will do anything, often without regards to what the impact their investments may have on the environment, in order to improve their finances. Taking the environment into account is often costly, which often deters companies from doing the right thing at great cost to the environment. So how does a modern landfill work? Imagine a giant bathtub in the ground. Trash is added to the open tub and covered each day with daily cover, such as contaminated soil. As time goes by, more and more of trash is piled on and more highly toxic methane gas builds up as the trash decomposes. This is when you start to get that trash smell, you know the one. Any water that's in the trash or any rain or snow that seeps through the cover starts to trickle down through the trash. And when water and waste are mixed, it creates a toxic poisonous soup called leachate. It contains all the dangerous stuff that is in a lot of what people throw away in the trash. Now the leachate containing these poisons trickles through the trash and pools at the bottom. One set of pipes collects the liquid and takes it to the collection tank. And another set of pipes collects and diverts toxic gases. However, only a fraction of the gas gets captured over the life of the landfill. The rest escapes into the air. An airborne toxic can travel as long as 3 miles from the waste sites. History has proven that many parts of the landfill system will eventually break. The collection pipe buried under the garbage will become clogged and eventually break. Liners will be punctured by sharp objects, and the chemicals and leachate will burn holes through the plastic. Even experts admit that all liners leak, and if a leak were to be detected, it is too late. You cannot repair it when it begins to leak. Small holes become big holes. And eventually, the barrier between the waste and the groundwater completely fails. How and where the leachate will reach the groundwater is impossible to predict. There are many homes using private wells that may be around the landfill. So, the next time you take a sip of that cold water from the faucet, or bathe your kids in the tub, or take that long run in what you hope is fresh air, think about it. Waste is both a consequence and a symptom of lives lived unwisely and in disregard to the climate. There are many issues facing humanity, and if we do not take the issue of waste seriously, the consequences will be severe. It is a matter of persuading our communities that life lived sustainably will be more enjoyable not only in the short run, but in the long run as well. It is about choosing products that are made to last, that can be repaired and recycled, and that are produced with minimal risk to the environment and without degrading the lives of the people who make them. And what it comes down to is making collective choices for the greater good of every living being on this earth, as well as the climates they inhabit.